catch him off surprise like that.
Absolutely. And there's no KO to be played at all in this matchup here. Shopify has been running it all day.
Big.
Yeah.
There's 3 sites. I mean, for retakes, I think it would be really nice, but in that case, you really only have the null command to work with.
That's true. It's one benefit of the recon bolt.
And of course, the Hunter's Fury. Play super far back on C, super far back on A, and maybe even on B. I haven't seen it as often. But in any case, CLG, they're going to be looking to take some mid control, and that's not something we've said often.
No, by no means. And this is going to be a very fast aggression on the B side. Go for the fast plan here. We see this happen a lot with eco rounds and beginning pistol rounds as well. Quick plan from Benita to go underway. And Han, well, it's going to be a strong retake in the favor of Shopify, or a strong one needed now with the bodies already melting away. Holy moly, it's just a gang up outside of A link. But the wall's going to go on forwards, and Han only has a few seconds to work with here as it's going to heal itself again, but they have to go for that defuse. Han's going to sacrifice himself, be the ultimate body block here, but the time is running out. Chobo's good for KP. Now it's just down to a single Han in a 1v2. It's doable. It's doable. And it works.
What? Han, that was crazy. She just isolated those 1v1s and she didn't even need that heal to heal herself up. So Shopify coming out strong with that first round, even though it really looked like a round for CLG.
Wow, that should have been a CLG round. 9 times out of 10, you see that quick plant. Even if the other team has full rifles, usually they're so caught off guard that it should be that aggressor's round. But Shopify, you gotta give it to Han there for that wall. That saved the round for Pistol.
Oh, for sure. And now they're gonna be able to buy up. And it seems like Diana is gonna be on the sheriff, kind of saving up for a potential up. Of course, on the defense, but Shopify, they've placed 3 members toward that A side with only It Not Han and KP onto CS. What is that spray through that? I mean, that's going to be a third.
KP!
Ace?
Okay, can you get an ace? We've seen a 4K tape. We've only seen one 4K, and that was from Chobo. Guiding Light's going to go through. KP's going to ignore it. They're going to keep pushing forwards. Guiding Light number 2. Is this going to be a fast aggression? No, Naomi's going to run away. It's all going to be fast towards A side.
Oh, unfortunate, but she will pick up an alt orb for her struggles as she continues onto this flank. But of course, with that weapon disadvantage from CLG Red, it's going to be very difficult as Diana's going to deny that ace from KP. The only member left alive will be Benita. She's making her way toward window, but everything is just being watched as that's a flawless coming out from Shopify.
That was fantastic watch from KP. The spray through the smoke, a double kill, and then shortly after strafe into a triple right there. That easily could have been an ace, but you gotta give it to KP there for stalling out the entirety of the attack and just defusing it before the spike could get anywhere near his sight.
I mean, I don't even think that recon bot spotted out anybody except for that third kill. That was blindly spraying through the smoke, as it will be that weapon disadvantage though for Shopify going into this round, as CLG have picked up all rifles. And Shopify, they've still changed up a little bit. Killjoy is now playing on that B site, or rather inside of Garage with her utility on that B site, as it will be this orb picked up for KP outside, trying to charge up that Hunter's Fury.
Naomi's going to use the Coyote / Wolf, whatever you want to decide to call it now, towards the bottom of short. It's going to find some info. Han's going to back off now. Seems like the spike is still dedicated its way towards A side. No one's going to regress just yet.
There's that tripwire outside of C, though, making sure that no one can push out of there. But since Panini is there, she can actually try to step over that if she wanted to.
And it seems like a bit of posturing going towards Garage as well. The alarm bot's going to go away. Flowerful has their time preoccupied now by the 2 inside of Garage. But it looks like the call might actually be made from CLG Red to rotate over towards C, potentially. But Flowerful's good for 1. Make it 2 now to shut down CLG. Leftmost side of the map. And it looks like it might all end on B side.
Does, but remember, there is the swarm grenade sitting in front of that site, and I don't think they are going to kill it in time. They are not, so that will deter them, as the flank is going to be coming through quite soon from KP.
Of course, KP with the ace, but it's actually not going to end on B. No, it's going to be used as a connector instead to go on to A side. Han's able to get away with their life, but they're still waiting for someone to go on top of Heaven. No one's going to go that way just yet. Naomi's going to take some shots. Could be the plan to go down. KP's going to re-rotate herself back onto short side. But not going to last much longer. Still, the plan's struggling to get down onto the site. It's able to succeed in doing so, but look at the shutdown again! CLG, they're getting the spike into the ground. They get extra money, but Kura 3 still remain on Shopify.
Yep, they did just get pinched once again onto the site, and I mean, when they rotated as that 3-woman unit, I think that was their best decision there because they knew that Shopify were coming in from behind and they did not want to get pinched onto B. So instead, I guess they chose to get pinched on A. But in any case, it will be CLG going on to the save. So honestly, this is looking like a really strong start from Shopify. Looking like a 4-0.
Shopify's looking really, really good, especially after the mental reset they needed to have after Ascent. Both of these teams kind of had that fall. Now they're kind of pendulum swinging their way back up. Shopify, they've been looking really good.
Yep, they are still, once again, changing up their defense. And that was a nice shot from Diana to take out Naomi. CLG, I mean, they still really can't crack any of these sites because they're playing quite slowly, right? Getting that information. And of course, they are going to be on those shares potentially right now. But they're not getting any of the picks that they need.
No, by no means. Not even needing to leave the site. It's Chobo and Rise. Last one's alive now. Kind of playing shooting gallery between B, man. And with the wall soon to break from Garage, it's going to be Han. Kind of just biding the time for the spike carrier, but Rise has essentially no health. I think they're down to like maybe 2 HP. All it's going to take is a single breath from anything, and just like that, Flowerful's able to find Rise. 4 in a row now.
Yeah, but now for CLG, I kind of want them to just take a site quickly, like they did in that first round. But still, as a reminder, keeping somebody back to watch for those flanks, because we know that is absolutely going to happen. That person kind of has to be Chobo. I mean, she can get onto the site, maybe place one of her tripwires, but she has to back off and just watch it. Or maybe it could be Bonita.
There's definitely a lot of options to come into play, and I'm surprised we haven't seen KP. It's hard to say with KP, because we've seen her go for the shutdowns, not even on a flank, but also the flanks being checked almost every single round.
Diana?
Oh, okay.
What?
Good job, Diana.
Yeah, I mean, Shopify, again, switching it up, going super aggressive. Up C along. CLG Red definitely were not expecting that at all, as they're still kind of dallying around mid.
Yeah, that play from Diana was just obscene to watch now. And Flowerful still holding on to Garage, waiting for the rest of CLG to push on forwards. Naomi's waiting to strike, but looks like the Nanostorm going to cut them out, and now they're forced to rotate. Probably maybe towards A. It's hard to say at this point, but CLG, they're effectively stuck towards the back of their own spawn again.
Yeah, it looks like they're actually moving towards C instead of A, which is definitely not the right choice in this situation, seeing how many members of Shopify are here. And they're going to get, sounded out. There's the sound cue of the Silver drone coming in. And so Shopify should be just keeping these members here. CLG Red has got on the site, though.
Okay, recon bolt from the back by Garage, completely unchecked. It's going to be Flowerful good for one. The most important, the spike wheeler to go down, but they get checked out by Claudia instead. 3v3 into the post plant now, no ults to use. Very little utility at that as well, except for Naomi, who has full gear. KP and company able to get onto the site, and look at that, Han finding the opening pick, but Han still hasn't fully pushed on. They're below the stairs, trying to push forwards. They might be able to circle around the Radiant boxes and catch them out from behind. Claudia focused on CT stairs, good for one. Who's left? It's going to be Rise inside Garage, but not much longer as Naomi's good for 2.
Yep, and that was nice crossfire setup there from CLG Red. Even though Shopify were basically pushing in from those 2 different positions, they were not able to take advantage of that recon dart, which did spot out both members of CLG Red. So now, going into round number 6, we have quite a few ultimates up from Shopify. They have that lockdown, they have the Resurrect, and that Blade Storm, which they're probably only going to use if Diana decides to go super aggressive, which she might. Just looking toward A shore and CLG. If they don't expect this, they could be just a shooting gallery.
We need to see Naomi go for the guiding light as soon as the round starts, and I don't think that we're going to quite see that. Recon Bolt going to go a little too far out of range as well. Early shot from Diana's going to take down Rise. Beautiful, Sakura, greatly predicted. But now with the controller completely gone for CLG's side, they have to push onto a site, but they have to be seen doing so.
And that's definitely not going to be the A site because you have to smoke out Heaven, you have to smoke out CT, or else there's really no way for you to get on, which is why they're moving back. And I really think the only site that they could go for is B, or maybe even going through Garage. But just look at the smoke in front of there. They have to send a drone through to make sure nobody is holding close. We'll actually spot out Panini there, who is inside of a Garage. They're going to try to push her, but Paranoid does come through, still slowing them down.
That smoke was just taunting CLG. I have an omen, you don't. The Panini's able to find Chobo. 2 bodies now gone. Able to get onto the site though. KP coming from behind. Claudia didn't have any info going into this, but look at that. Nearly finding the trades again. It's down to just Benita, but they're trapped out from Garage.
Of course, you have to be just really careful of KP. We said KP kind of just does it all, and that was the flank slash lurk that she was because she had pushed completely out of C. So CLG, as I said, just keep one member back, keep one member looking and pushing somewhere else, or else you're gonna get pinched every single time, and that's what happened for 5 rounds.
So what's the win condition now for CLG?
The win condition now, well, honestly, either go really fast onto one of those sites, go in with Claudia. It has to be Claudia and Naomi going in together. Or you just wait and maybe Shopify get, really antsy and they push out one of those sites without the information that they've been getting.
Gunfights are important too.
Oh, for sure. But that's a given, right? I don't have to say that.
Yeah. With Diana changing things up every round too, we saw the aggression she brought out from C Long, 2 rounds ago? I'm waiting to see if Diana does that again, if CLG can play off of it. And we can already see Rise on C main, maybe trying to wait out for it. But this is a bit of a timeout here. I'm not sure which side it's on. I'm assuming it's going to be CLG's. But this is the semifinals. CLG made it all this way. They don't want to be shut down by Shopify just yet. They want to make it to Grands.
Of course, and another thing that you have to deal with, of course, is that operator from Diana just looking at those far ranges. So again, smokers being very, very important. Rise cannot die early.
No, by no means. Diana, too, was able to find the early shot last round against Rise with the op from Sewers. And Rise has been struggling a little bit this game, too. They've been able to put down their utility, sure, but getting onto the site, they've been having a little bit of an issue after the mid-round.
Sure, but of course you have Naomi and Chobo. You have the Cypher cages, which can't necessarily smoke out Heaven, so you definitely can't go A once Rise dies, but B and C are still possibilities, right? You can Cypher cage A-Link and also Cypher cage C-Link to at least get that plant down, or maybe even just flash out with the Skybirds.
And KJ Util's not on C at all. The only amount of defense that's on C side are going to be 2 different bodies, albeit some of the strongest on Shopify's side. Diana's ready to strike, though. 1 turret to go down, reorienting position, going down below. Smoke's gonna come out instead.
Wait,
Claudia?
Okay. They're gonna get spotted out though.
Claudia's tried that twice now, and it looks like it's just gonna be a rush on the C. Okay.
Wait,
well, it was working out until the knives came out from Diana, and then Flowerful got a double kill, and now Rise, 0 and 6, is it in the best situation to find their opening pick here?
No. So CLG Red, they tried to push onto the side. We had Claudia going super aggressive, but she did not check Panini, who was sitting on top of the box in front of the site. Then we still had Diana at the backside, staying alive for so long because of the Cloudburst, pulling out the knives, making sure she stayed safe. And she was able to stay safe at least until the rest of Shopify Rebellion came in from that defender side. Flowerful looking inside of Garage, and CLG, I don't even think they were looking there when they're pushing in onto the side, so they lose another round. But now they have that Hunter's Fury available in addition to the From the Shadows, but still Shopify isn't really using any of these ults to push back CLG Red. It is still just the gunfights and just the different strategies.
Diana's pushing forwards on Sewers again. It looks like it may have been a little too late. 2 have already made their way across on the long near orb. What?
Oh no, but that's fine.
Oh no! Diana was nearly good for it. Could have been a third. Sov was able to get away too. And the rotate's been called.
There we go. That's a smoker down again.
On the flank.
Wait. Okay. That's still a favorable trade for KP, and there is Panini on the site just waiting here. She does get 1. It's another trade, but Shopify are they're probably going to pinch CLG Red onto the site again, as the Seekers will come out. We'll give them the information that somebody is sitting in defender spawn, but that is the lockdown placed.
Oh, the lockdown. It's too late to move out. The spike is in the ground. Diana's still waiting. 1 left alive. It's going to be a clear shot for Diana. Make up for what happened in Sewers. 6 now. 6 to 1. 7 to 1.
7 to 1.
For Shopify. CLG Red? they've been trying a lot. They've been changing their micro strategies a lot, right? They've been trying different strategies. They're trying to rotate out. They're trying to trick out, especially KP and company. But these flanks have been so strong, and just holding a site for Shopify, it's almost like there's a turret in every site.
Oh, it really is. And I mean, every time that Rise gets picked off, the only site that CLG Red really push is that C site. And they've been still shut down by Diana. So at this point, you know, maybe you just try A. You push in really fast. You have Rise actually use both of her smokes just to smoke out Heaven and smoke out Defender side. And you just push on, and we'll think about the retake later. They're not listening though. They're going to see.
I mean, C is completely open right now.
That's true.
Problem is, Shopify has been really, really damn good about taking this site back.
I mean, honestly, it might just be a bait for CLG, as that's going to be the Hunter's Fury coming out for KP, stopping that spike plan. So it's giving so much time for Shopify to set up their defenses.
Although it only tags out one, does a lot of damage against the Cypher. Claudia is still waiting up above from CT side. The recon boat not spotting anybody out just yet, but the Cypher camera in conjunction is going to find at least 3. That being said, now the reverse Hunter's Fury going to come underway a little early for CT side. Diana good for Chobo, but Benita still all the way in the back. Needs to find something real quick. The lineups need to work. There's a stage wall in the way. They can't physically get past it. And now with an op, now watching inside of oh, the small little cubby. Beautiful. That's for the highlight reel.
That is another wonderful retake from Shopify Rebellion onto that C-side. CLG, they really cannot push that anymore. And that's the stage wall that I really like to see, just cutting off, because they know CLG is going to be playing toward that long side, especially with the Hunter's Fury available. So now CLG, I mean, they have to try something new. Go B, go A. Do not go C again.
Yeah, C is a death trap at this point. B, usually covered in KJ utility. It's going to be, though, Flowerful, I think, setting up all over A this time around. I'm wondering if the response is going to be from CLG to push A aggressively, and it's been read into by Shopify.
I mean, it's still not technically the entire team, right? We have like a 2-1-2 split. Still, we have Rise and, I believe, Benita pushing up C, seeing if they can catch out KP. That smoke coming down at the front of site is going to help her. She's going to have to look back at the right time. At least she gets a 1-for-1 trade. But this is C site open. That's where the spike is going.
Benita's able to find Claudia, though. Shopify still have a body advantage. Neural theft to go underway. They can at least space out their timing a little bit longer. They have to watch out for Han's wall, though. That was so effective last time around. But this time, no longer going to be used. They only have slow orbs in their possession. Potential flash could be used from CT, though, from Rise. Chobo biding their time as well, pushing into their own utility. They have to be careful. Han's on the other side, waiting for it to dissipate. Could be a great shot opening through. Han takes down Chobo. No more Cypher to worry about. Now pushing onto the side, the full-on retake in full effect. Swinging out, though, it's going to be Naomi, but not for much longer. Only losing 1 in the process. It's going to be nearly double digits.
Yep, it is the same thing. CLG Red just seems so separate at this point, right? We had one backup site, one pushing into garage, and one holding C long. And honestly, for this retake, they have to play together because, again, they're not winning the gunfights. They're not getting the trades.
Yeah, a lot of these gunfights seem like they should be going in CLG's favor, but a lot of over-aggression that we saw in the last round in of itself. Chobo and Naomi especially could have been a doable situation, but playing into their own utility, not in the most beneficial way, was really hurting them in the post plan.
I know, and now that CLG Red do not have the money to buy, I mean, this is looking like a potentially 12-1 half for Shopify. Again. Yeah, especially if Diana keeps doing that, right?
Chobo is gonna fall. There's no more flank watch. You know what that means, right?
Oh, yes.
KP time.
It's KP time. And KP's still on C right now. This time they are pushing B.
Okay. I mean, if you're on an eco round, it makes sense, right? But it's not quite an eco round, it's a broken buy. But the 2 left alive for CLG Red. Stopped inside of A main, though. Claudia is able to find Diana the op to fall, but Naomi soon follow afterwards. I mean, the op can just get picked up again.
Yep, it really will. Of course, they completely stopped that push onto B, and that was really all that CLG Red could do at that point. That's the second time, though, on the Ego that they've pushed completely B, so I think Shopify did read into that a little bit. Now going into the last round, of course, everyone will have that buy available, and they still have to worry about the lockdown coming down from Shopify Rebellion. It's going to be playing on that A site, and CLG Red, they look like they're going to try to push A, but look at mid from Shopify. It looks like they're going to be pushing out.
Oh no, Shopify, this will be a cool response. We haven't seen this from them just yet. Diana waiting on haystacks. A common area for CLG to start, but the one time Diana pushes, they're
Oh,
not
she's
there.
gonna hear it though. Gonna hear the wolf.
Is this a whole team flank? They have to worry about
This
the
is a whole
cyber
team flank.
util.
Except for Flowerful.
Oh,
gonna be playing on the side. There's nothing
They're
behind them.
trapped! They're trapped, Kuro! They're all trapped! That's not a good sign at all, because they all have to
Oh,
run
no.
out, right? Rise?
Oh, no.
Oh, no! Oh, CLG are in trouble! Naomi's able to push up, but they've all been detained! Shopify, they have a whole gamut to work with here! They're all getting mowed down!
Swipe those biometrics.
What?
What did we just see? But that was absolutely beautiful from Flowerful. Just not even playing on A side. She was on the other side of the wall, making sure that CLG Red couldn't even get that spike plant down because they didn't know how many members of Shopify were sitting inside of defender spawn. So they decided to push out through the other side, and that was their downfall. Absolutely amazing.
Holy crap. That was beautiful from Shopify. That was one of
Yeah.
the smartest team-wide plays I have ever seen commentating this game.
Yeah, I need that like on the replay feed afterward because, man, that was.
The whole round.
I'm gonna start using that from now on, like especially if I'm queuing 5-stack. But in any case, now it's going to be CLG Red on the defense, and at this point, I feel like they should just take some gambles, stack a site, and at least do a 5-woman retake because Shopify, they're pushing pretty aggressively onto the A side. Panini gets picked off though, and that is the smoker down, as I like to say.
KB's looking for that early info to get onto the side. Chobo gets traded out. Trade for a trade. Great headshot coming out from Naomi. Beautiful spray. Almost into a double. Not quite enough. The wall's going to go up in response, and now Heaven's really the best way to get onto the site. Flank goes underway, though. Good for another from Han. Could be a triple here. They've already done the damage on the rise. Have to finish it off. Oh,
So
so
low.
close yet so far. The counter strafes coming through so hard between both teams. Having to get away. Line comes through. Han having to force themselves back onto Hell.
Player standing.
Into a double kill. Triple for Han. Into a 4K. Ho, 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 ho.
Yeah, there was really nothing CLG Red could do at that point because Shopify, I mean, they were kind of doing what CLG Red was really struggling on, getting onto the site confidently because CLG, they kind of just waited for a really long time on the attack, then tried to push the site, and by then, all the rotates had come through, but because there was only Sky and one other player from CLG on that A site, they got taken down very, very quickly. And then, of course, the Sage Wall coming into play on that defensive side. So now Shopify, they only need this one round in order to finish off this series. And CLG, they can't even buy.
This could very well be the final round in this entire setup. Claudia and company, they're struggling a little bit here. But Flowerful holding still B main, even though they're covered in shrouds.
Oh, they pinged her out.
They did ping her out. It's
Yeah,
been
somebody's
aggression up the wazoo coming out from CLG Red, and it's not working out for them. Benito's gonna fall already. Now this could be the response, though. Claudia pushing out here into the whole entire team.
Look at Panini. She just went all the way through C.
And now there's only 3 left alive for CLG, potentially of the whole tournament. 2 left alive now. The bodies keep on going down. Chobo, Naomi having to keep themselves into the game, but not for much longer. It's Shopify to bring